Welcome back to the Survival Let's Play world. Today we are going to be continuing working on the interior of this castle base that we started last episode. Today we are going to be working on one of my favourite things, the library. Let's head over to the other side of the building and take a look at where this library is going to go. So this side of the building we have one tower here, and then we have another tower here, and they kind of intersect with each other, and they're slightly different sizes. And this one obviously goes much higher up there, but that tower over there is going to be the library tower, this one here. And I kind of want to have like a bit of an overlook looking out over this really tall stacks of bookshelves, all the cool things that we're going to have in the library. And we have this spiral staircase going up. I need one going down as well. I need to kind of continue it going down and sort of figure out how we're going to have that going down. Plus we do have this room over here, which is going to be a ballroom. I think I might actually move the entrance to along this corridor, because this corridor takes us to the rest of this building. I think I might move the entrance to kind of maybe here somewhere, or like we'll center it properly, but yeah, that gives us a bit more space to play with around here. This takes us down to our amethyst, where we've been mining for amethyst shards to get all of the blocks that we've been building with. And I'm gonna move I'm not gonna keep this tunnel. I'm gonna have the spiral staircase going down, and then we'll have another kind of proper tunnel going down to that as well. So this won't be in the way, but we need to continue this spiral staircase down over here to the library. Yeah, we've got a lot of work to do to figure out. So we're gonna have the library here. We're also gonna have a portal room down underneath this building. I think kind of in the basement level we want a portal room, so we'll work on that as well, because it will be kind of right next to the library and linked in. And then of course we're going to have a potions classroom underground. All of the other classrooms are planned out in the castle itself, but I think having the potions classroom in the basement will be good. So if we don't get to that, we will definitely plan out where it's going to go at least. And yeah, then we'll kind of go from there. We'll see how long this library takes. And I think this is going to look really cool, but I think it's definitely still needs a lot of work. Okay, so I think I have got this shape to look okay now. I think this staircase is the right shape. It's kind of going at the right steepness and kind of winding down in. I think this looks okay. Once we get some bookshelves in here, I think that will help. We'll kind of add a bit of a wall in around here, so they'll still be able to look out over the stairs, over the library, but also this is kind of a separate room. So this part will be kind of the spiral staircase room, and then that section will be the library. And I've also dug out this tunnel for us to put our nether portal room at the end. I think we'll put that all the way at the end down here. But now I think we've got this layout sort of working properly, we can actually get started on the library. So I think first things first, let's line all of the walls with bookshelves, and then a few looms thrown in for that empty bookshelf look. And then once we've covered all of the walls with books, we can make them look a bit more interesting. And there we go. We have full walls of bookshelves with a few looms in there just to break up. It does all look very samey at the moment. We're going to definitely put some things in front of these to make it look nicer and less like weird book walls. I'm also really excited for 1.20 update with the new bookshelves. I think that will add a whole lot more variation into bookshelves, which is going to be really awesome and really help to bring some variation to libraries and big bookshelf walls like this. So when we come in, we can see there is the library, and as we come down the stairs, we'll be able to look out across all of the bookshelves and everything that's going on. So I'm going to put some kind of shelves in around with some ladders so that people can actually reach the books at the top, because obviously these books up here are going to be useless if you can't get to them. But first I am just going to add some lighting in the ceiling so that we can actually see what we're doing in here a bit more. So I'm going to do some chandeliers, kind of similar to the entryway, but less fancy. They're not going to be crystals, they're just going to have lanterns, I think, on these ones. Yeah, there we go, that looks good. These Soulfire lanterns don't give off as much light as regular lanterns do, so we can keep that kind of like soft lighting, even though we've got a whole bunch of lanterns up here. And then we'll just do the same over here. We're going to have 2. And now when we first come into this room, we are at the top of the staircase and we've got this crystal chandelier, which is the same as we have in the main entrance hall, kind of hanging over the middle of this spiral staircase. And I'm super happy with how this staircase turned out. This took so much work. It took so much like changing and changing back and then changing it again, but I think I've got a shape now that I'm really happy with, and we've got this big rug in the middle down here, and as we come down we can see out over into the library side of the building, which is also looking super cool. I am so happy with how this whole kind of double room has turned out. But if we follow down these stairs, we come down to this sort of hallway area, which there's a couple of other paths branching off. That one is going to go to where we're going to have our nether portal, and then that one is going to go over to another classroom. It kind of leads and joins up to the other side of the building because we have 2 separate buildings. And then through here brings us into the actual library, and this view as we come through here is just, I think this might be my favourite view inside the castle so far. It's just so magical and it's so cozy, and we've got these little desk areas where you can sit and study, and we have like some plants around and some candles and some lanterns, and just generally all cozy. We have these kind of crystals that are helping the stairs stay floating, and we can come up here and we can kind of reach the higher shelves by coming up onto these little landing platforms. We can look out the window. It is nighttime, but we can look out the window, and then we can come up again, and there's another floor right up at the top, and this is kind of right up by the chandeliers, which I think actually it's quite cool being up here. I think maybe up here is where the more advanced books are, and maybe the more dangerous books as well. So they're kind of tucked away up at the top near the roof over here. But this view is just so good. I think anywhere you stand in this room, you get an awesome view. And just, yeah, I'm super happy with how this whole room has turned out, including the staircase area and the library area. And I think it all fits together really well and kind of just flows nicely. Now, I think I also want to work on some classrooms as well in this episode. And I think we're going to come back over to the front building and probably start with this classroom, because this is going to be the enchanting classroom. We're basically just going to have like all of the classrooms are going to have desks and sort of like a teacher's desk and like students' desks, and then they'll have things that are specific to what the classroom itself is. So this is the enchanting classroom. I think we will have our enchanting set up in this back corner. So I'm going to kind of just mark out where I want things to go. The teacher's desk here, and then we'll have like all of the students' desks like dotted around like this, something like this. That will look good, I think. And I think we should be able to throw a few magic crystals in, and just like magic, we have an enchanting classroom. I'm really happy with how this turned out. I really like this enchanting setup over here in the corner. We've got a bunch of crystals and glow lichen kind of spreading out from it, like it's kind of spreading the enchantment out from the table, which I think looks really cool. And then, yeah, we just have kind of the teacher's desk, and then a bunch of students' desks where they can sit, and some wall decorations. There's no windows, so we've got a bunch of shelves and stuff around and some lanterns. And yeah, I'm happy with how this turned out. I think this is a good first classroom for the school so far. Now, next up, let's do... What's this? Oh, well, we have an Enderman problem in this castle. Okay, so this classroom is going to be the defense classroom. So this will be like magical defense techniques that will be being taught. We have a lot of space to work with in here, so hopefully we can do our same little trick, and with a little bit of magic we can do this. So we have our second classroom finished. I've decided to keep this one slightly less busy, and like the walls are a bit plainer. I've not filled them with bookshelves, because this room is for more kind of magical fighting magic and defense magic. So we've got a bunch of targets over here with these little stands, so you would stand behind here and practice hitting all of the targets. And then we've also got this mat here, which is kind of like a sparring mat, I guess, going on here. And yeah, just keeping it quite simple in here. We've got a couple of little decorations, but nothing too crowded, because we would need lots of space for the kind of magic that they would be learning and practicing in this room. So I think, yeah, I'm happy with this. I think this has turned out quite well. So next up, we can actually go all the way upstairs in this first front building. We definitely need to do this dining room at some point, but I want to continue with some classrooms for this episode. In this classroom, okay, we have got spells classroom. I actually haven't decided what I'm going to do with this room at all, but maybe we can get the magic to help us out instead. So if we throw some magic crystals down, we get another classroom complete. And this one is spells classroom, so this is more of a traditional classroom again. So we've just got some little seats and some desks with some books. We have the teacher's desk. We have this bench at the front. So these are maybe these are things that they are practicing their spells on. Maybe they have to turn them into something else. And then just some little wall decorations, kind of window frames and shelves with just some extra things to make this look a bit more interesting in this room. And I think this turned out really well. I think the classrooms are looking quite good on this side of the building. And that is all of the classrooms on this side of the castle. But I think instead of going over to the other side of the castle and finishing all of the classrooms, I think I'm going to actually finish all of the rooms on this side of the building instead, because then we can say that at least one of the buildings is complete. So we have the dining room that still needs to be finished. We have the dormitories, the bedrooms in the tower, and we also have the study room up in the loft space. So I think let's get working on these areas. Now the front part of this castle is finally all furnished. All the rooms have a purpose and it's really just starting to feel so much more alive and like it's actually being used. All these rooms kind of like flow into each other and we can walk around and take a look at everything that's going on in this castle, at least in the front half. But I think this is actually all the time that I have for this episode. We've done a lot of rooms, we've done a lot of decorating inside, and I'm really happy with all the progress that we've got done. We'll be working on the other side of the castle next time and hopefully get the interior over there finished as well. And then we also have, just out that window behind me, you can see there's an extra little tower which also needs some interior work done as well. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode and I hope to see you in the future. Goodbye!